Wild 94.9, Rebel Pop Radio, Truth Live. I'm here with Bay Area legend, worldwide rap legend, if you really know what's up. Locksmith, what's up?
What's up with it, brother?
Man, good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. I mean, you've had a lot of music coming out for the last few years. It's been a steady evolution. You've been really prolific with content the last few years, from Lofty Goals on. I don't even want to rattle off everything catalog-wise, but right now, most pressing, you got Ali coming out.
Yeah. Well, we just dropped it. Friday. It's just steadily building, staying consistent, growing. Trying to be progressive and push the culture forward, and have my say, put my 2 cents in.
Progressive is a good way to say it, I think, in regards to your musical evolution. I mean, I've personally been aware of you and followed you from the battles here in this building here in iHeart San Francisco to MTV to now, and it seems that you just continually keep trying new things as far as spreading what things sound like sonically, and like production styles and more singing and topics, and the whole range is really growing.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, you grow, hopefully you grow as an artist. I've learned to enjoy the journey, you know what I mean? And enjoying the journey, it should show in your art, in your music. I love hip hop. I love music. I love expressing myself in this genre, and I love just kind of pushing myself and seeing what I can do and what I can't do, and how I can get better and grow as a songwriter and as an MC and as a performer too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the journey, man, and it's documenting the journey that I'm on as a human, as an artist.
It's been an interesting journey. I think you even had a line in one of the more recent releases about something of how could you get writer's block when you're just writing about your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, that's on the song Stars. Yeah.
And you have a sort of unique path. I'm sure along the road, you have to have been offered lots of different opportunities along the way. You've maintained your independence, which seems like a pretty consistent clarity about that. That was very intentional for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the right situation. I've been in situations where you've taken steps. Sometimes you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, And I just personally love the being independent and being able to move how I want to move, and drive in whatever direction I want to drive in, and allow myself that time to grow. Like I'm in no hurry. I still enjoy creating and making music and creating rhymes and doing whatever I want to do, and not having to wait. Because sometimes when you get into certain situations, there's so much like red tape or you have to go through.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're controlling yourself, it's a lot more work.
A&Rs, executive producers.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Major upstream, another boss.
And that's great. But I feel like I don't want to go to that step until I feel comfortable with it, and that I may never feel comfortable if the right situation ever comes along. But right now, I'm just having so much fun. Like I can go shoot a music video right now, or I can go on Instagram and be like, yo, I'm in San Francisco, fans, I'm coming to somebody's house, I'm gonna rap for you, and we can videotape it right there, and I can put it out tomorrow.
Right.
Without anybody telling me, signing any papers.
Yeah, the freedom. Freedom to really,
man.
like you said, stay on your path, your artistry. I mean, no patronization intended. Like I'd say you're one of the living rap embodiments of authenticity.
Thank you, man.
In a time period where that seems to be less and less of a trend. I kind of find it ironic that you have some, critical takes in some of your lyrics of like, where the world's at and how we communicate in different mediums and social media. But the irony to me is that authentic engagement, as they say, right, is like the coveted thing. And you staying independent the way you have and staying true to yourself is you have like the most authentic engagement. The people follow what you have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really on there. I mean, I'm emailing people back. I mean, as much as I can do. If I can email, if I can DM people, I'll send people links on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, as much as I can. Why not? If it gets to the point where it's too much, then obviously I can't hit anyone. But if I can hit people here and there and just let them know, like, yo, I appreciate it. And then those people come to your shows,
Right.
And you meet them. Like I've met people that are like, yo, they made like, drew a picture of me in Manitoba, Canada.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Saskatchewan.
They're really connected with it.
Yeah, and then I'll go there, and then it'll be like a year or so, and then I'm finally doing like a headlining show in Canada, and this person actually comes and is like, yo, you remember this? I drew this for you, put it on Instagram. I was like, yo, I remember that. So it connects,
Yeah, you can't fake that.
You can't, man.
Do you ever find it does it get awkward for you because the nature of your music being something that people do connect with so personally and you are accessible? Does that get difficult energetically or socially when you're actually out there in front of the people? Like, do they all feel like they really know you because you know you have vulnerable and honest lyrics? You know what I mean, and they connect with it that way.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, what is that like just off stage?
No, I never had anything that's too vulnerable, anything that's too weird.
Right.
You know, I mean, I kind of enjoy it. You know, like not. I enjoy hearing people's struggles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But I do enjoy the fact that, or it motivates me even more when somebody says like, "Yo, your music inspired me," or "Your music helped me through this." Like, you know, I've had people that were like breast cancer survivors or somebody that was going through something with his girlfriend or his wife or his kid. And I had one guy when I was in North Carolina, my first time performing in North Carolina, and it was a small show, and this guy came up, he was like, "Yo," and I remember him too because he had sent me a couple messages on Facebook, and he actually was a stroke survivor. You know what I mean? And he was like a more like older hip hop head, but he had a son who was like a really dope fan as well, and he's also an aspiring artist. And they came to the show, and it was just like a trip to hear that. He was like, "Yo, you know, I'm just recovering from some illnesses I was going through, and your music helped me." And I was just like, "Wow, you know." Like,
yeah, that's a gift right there.
That's crazy,
right?
yeah.
You know,
man.
they look up to you, but the way that's got to make you feel is.
I mean, and that's the kind of music I love too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's been times where I was listening to like a Jay-Z or Eminem track. You know what I mean? Back in the day, that helped me get. And I still to this day, there's certain songs that I listen to from artists that like it motivates me to be like, okay, you know, I want to get back on my grind. So,
right.
Yeah.
So Ali, just very superficially, the title, I was wondering if that's like a reference, you know, to Muhammad Ali being the greatest, or is your middle name?
That's my name. Yeah.
So I was curious, where did you arrive to that title?
Well, it's my name, obviously, and that's what my family calls me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's what I grew up as, obviously, and I wanted on this particular album, I wanted to talk about because I'm Iranian. Excuse me, I'm Iranian and I'm black. My father is from Iran. My mother's African American, and I grew up culturally, I guess, African American. You know, I grew up in the Bay in Richmond. All my siblings are black, and all my homies. You know what I mean? That's what I grew around in the urban.
In your college studies as well, too.
African American studies,
right,
but
right.
Not that I didn't know, and I also took Near Eastern studies and that kind of stuff, and I'm very much in touch with my father, my culture, my father's culture, with, you know what I mean, the Persian culture, but I grew up in Richmond,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But I wanted to make a project, I wanted to make an album, and I wanted to make songs that reflect like what was it like being half black, half Persian, growing up seeing both of these cultures, and how does it tie together even from a social standpoint, from a political standpoint, like all these different things, like what was that like? And I tried to, you know, articulate that in the art and the songs and let you know like, yo, this is me. This is a product. I'm a product of this situation.
All of the above. I think that kind of variety of influence has done nothing but lead to you being a stronger artist.
Thank you,
and
man.
it comes across the perspective, the thoughtfulness. The standout track for me, and it's hard to say, you know, because I'm a fan and it's a really good project. You've consistently been dropping dope music. Prison tripped me out.
Yeah.
I think I played it like 4 or 5 times in a row. How do you make meaningful music in a time like this, and then also keep like a commercial viability that you are able to do? Like, is that something on your mind, or is that just inherently?
Yeah, it is kind of on my mind. I mean, I don't know, because my palette is a little diverse. I mean, because I listen to a lot of different, you know, music, and you know, within hip hop, I listen to a little bit of it. I can find, you know, things that I like, certain stuff I don't like, but I don't like certain stuff in every genre. So you're not gonna like everything, but that's my palette. Like, I like some commercial stuff. I like some more underground. Of course, I always like stuff that has a little bit more substance. That's what I lean towards. So my music is always gonna give you something that, you know, the songs are gonna have some substance. It's always.
You never take bars off. I got to give you that. Like, honestly, I'll say this again, no patronization.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can spit, right? And at the top of the pyramid right now, from the Kendricks to J. Cole's, to Childish Gambinos, whoever, they spit on pretty much everything they do.
Yeah.
But I really don't feel like anyone is as consistently bar for bar as disciplined as you've been in your career, man. So that's what I'm saying, is be able to have that level of insight but also have it like, you know, something that people can digest, like
Yeah.
that is that art, like I said, that is in your mind, like,
Well, I mean, I think that's just how I'm built.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you know, right?
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if it's something like, even if you go back to like back at Frontline and stuff,
Sure.
when we were making songs that were more commercially, but there's still bars
Like,
in
what
there.
is it? Yeah, that actually
Yeah.
to me is when you transitioned in my mind from a battle rapper to a songwriter, which
Yeah.
most people struggle with. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that they can write these incredible, like, you know, punchlines,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
can't
yeah.
write song concepts, right? And the way you navigated that.
Well, there's a
even in
difference
Frontline days.
between like everything has its own space. So like a punchline that works in a battle doesn't always necessarily work in a rhyme, and a punchline in a rhyme doesn't necessarily work in a song. Like it's just different. If you just study and love, like dudes who are really into hip hop and understand that. Some people are just like, yo, I only like this or I only like that. But if you really understand it I like to equate it to different things like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Sports.
What's your hoop game like right now, by the way?
My hoop game is real low right now.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't always.
It wasn't always. No, I mean, look, I'm a hooper. I can always hoop.
Right,
I can
right.
still beat a lot of people who think they can hoop. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But to my standards, just
Okay.
like as a battle rapper, like I haven't battled like in the ring and
Yeah.
I don't know how long, but I'm still going to be sharper than most people. But I equate like hip hop. Let's just take it, even though it's not a sport, it is an art. But if somebody who might be the greatest dunker. You see these guys who are incredible dunkers, and you doing dunks now. It's like, yo, they probably can dunk better than Kevin Durant, but are they a better player than Kevin
Right.
Durant?
There's more
But
to it than that.
Yeah, but then there are some guys who can kind of do both. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they're incredible. Like Michael Jordan is considered one of the all-time great dunkers, as one of the great, or if not the greatest player.
Right.
So some people can overlap both, and some people are great pass. You know what I mean? So everybody has
Just trying to keep it diversify, push all.
But some people
all
are
of them forward.
specialists.
Right.
Some people are like, yo, this is what I do. And a lot of people, that's cool with them. I'm going to always try to grow and make better music, make better art. Like I'm never going to be like, yo, you should only rap. We were talking before the interview started, like I released a project with Apollo Brown earlier this year,
dope project.
which is just, thank you, and shout out to Apollo. Like it's just straight up boom bap, sample hip hop, and which I wanted to do that.
It reminded me why I fell in love with hip hop in the
Yeah.
first place, which I really appreciate. 'Cause
Yeah,
like you
man.
said, it holds a certain space. It's not all there is
Absolutely.
to hip hop.
No,
you know, but
it's a certain space. Like
Right.
I love that. Or like, you know, when you heard like Jay-Z's 444 album, you know,
Right.
a couple years back or whatever, and it was just like, yo, I'm gonna follow this theme, and this is what it's gonna be. I'm gonna drop jewels on you, and that's dope. But then I still like stuff that's a little bit more diverse or a little, you know what I mean? So
It's kind of cool right now. I feel like as an artist, there's not really rules. Like it's dope or it's not dope. Like
Yeah.
in the time of the golden era of boom bap, you couldn't deviate from that.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
were that artist, that's what you did.
Yeah.
Now you have the freedom and the space that we're all in culturally. You want to rap over trap beats, fine. You want to
Yeah.
rap over some experimental, some pop,
I
some
don't-
whatever. It doesn't
I don't
even
really
matter.
get that, man. Like I don't get somebody who can consider themselves a lover of hip hop and just say, yo, I don't ever want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how could you say that? Like, hip hop is like, I'm
It's
not
so inclusionary. Like,
it might
why
not
would
be
you
your
shut things off,
it
right?
might not be your favorite thing. Like my favorite thing may be one thing and your favorite thing, but still, like, how can you completely? And you know what? When you talk to a lot of guys, because I'm friends with a lot of hip hop legends, you know, I've developed friendships and relationships, and when you talk to them, it's the fans that create all this like energy around it. But when you talk to them, they're like, yo, I love this, or I love
Right.
Drake, I love that song. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
But like fans are just like, yo, they just want that one particular thing. And I understand it, that's fine. But me, I'm never gonna be that artist.
Well,
like I'm always gonna try to spread my wings because I feel like I'm capable of it. So why not? you
Right,
know?
maybe that's why you're on that side of the stage, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we all have our roles to play. So I honestly feel when people look back at hip hop historically that you hold a higher place than you maybe get credit for in the living time and moment. And maybe that still happens in your lifetime, but sometimes people need distance to really appreciate what something is.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, what is a legacy you would be proud of? Like 100 years from now, or a time machine, people come and looking back at hip hop or something. What would, or a time capsule? What would you like to have been? What you will remember for?
I would say just creating authentic music, adding to the art, you know, hopefully raising the consciousness of people, you know what I'm saying, through the art, through the music. I mean, that's why I do this. I'm trying to push myself and I'm trying to push the listener. You know, like, why did Stanley Kubrick make movies? Why did, you know what I mean? Like, what did they do? Like, it's your job to interpret it. I'm just trying to express myself and give my artistic critique on this life that we in. You know what I mean? Like, none of us are going to be here forever. So I definitely want to leave my mark and express, like, hopefully I'm holding a mirror up to the world, you know, and interpreting it through the art. So,
well, it's a crazy time to be alive. So again, I really would like to commend you for being a truth teller without it being like clickbaity. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you're not like forcing it on people. It's
I can't
just
go
a
that
truthful
way.
observation.
Yeah. I'm doing stuff like, if I can't identify with it sincerely at some point, some way, then I can't do it. Like, it feels weird to me. Like, if I feel a certain way, then I'll let it out. And it just, so if that might happen to be quote unquote clickbait, then, but I knew it came from a sincere place.
Right.
I've always done that. I try to follow that underlined feeling throughout my career, no matter what I do.
Well, it comes across. I think that's a pretty universal experience for your listeners. So you're achieving that. I could talk about music all day probably with you, ask you a ton of questions.
It's all good.
You know, for the sake of the inevitable monetization of the art, give us some information on where people get the music, find you online, all of the above.
Everything is at iamlock.com. You know what I mean? So you got the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything is on there. So just, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, DA Locksmith. But iamlock.com will take you to everything. And the new album, Ali, is out right now. So check it out,
I was teasing you before you came in, sort of, like, are you going to ever run out of words? When you're rhyming so many syllables and having so many concepts jam-packed, like, condensed, that's the last thing I wanted to get on there. Like, how do you keep doing this, bro? Are you going to run out of words,
you said it before. I mean, I'm talking about what's going on at the moment. Like, every album or every project, every song is like, what's going on at this time. I mean, there's always stuff going on. How can you not? I mean, we constantly go through emotions as human beings and the way we see stuff. So as long as that's happening, there's a way to express it. And I'm going to just keep on doing it. And I just love hip hop, man. Like, I love, like, creating art. I love expressing myself in this way. So I don't know if that'll ever go away.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it as a fan. I'm glad
man.
That's how you feel about it. The ever-evolving, musically expanding, growing artist, Bay Area's own Locksmith. I'm Truthlive, Rebel Pop Radio, Wild 94.9. Appreciate having you.
My brother, for sure.
Be good.